Hi, I'm River Lightbearer from River Evolution's Healing, Channeling, and Coaching, here to help you create and evolve into your best life. I offer a number of tools to my clients in their journey to create their best life. And one of those tools, starting a couple of weeks ago, is Oracle card readings. Oracle cards are cards which include certain messages that are often printed on each individual card. And they're intended to give you direction, not directions, but a direction and guidance and information that can help you progress in your life. I've discovered Oracle cards in 2006 at a time when I was really struggling with my life. I was in an abusive marriage. I was raising two kids. I knew I needed to get out of my marriage, but I was afraid of the impact on my kids and how I was going to navigate all of that. And I went to a metaphysical bookstore one day to talk to them about doing energy healing sessions there because they brought practitioners in, and energy healing was something I was just starting to offer to others. And while I was there, I found a display of Oracle card decks. And I picked one up because it called to me and it had pretty colors and it had the word dolphins in the title. And my daughter was really into dolphins at the time, so it seemed like a good deck. And those cards really gave me comfort and reassurance at a time in my life when I needed it. The cards weren't about predicting the future. That's not what Oracle cards are for. But they did give me, you know, a heads up on things that I might want to consider as I was planning the next stage of my life. And I really enjoyed using them. But something about them, while the cards did resonate for me, something didn't fully resonate. And I said to my mentor at the time, I really feel called to create a deck of Oracle cards. And he didn't know a lot about Oracle cards because that wasn't one of his things. But I explained it to him, and he's like, sure, that's great. I make these digital art images. You can use those as inspiration. I'm like, yes, that's perfect. So I put together a deck of cards that used his images. And do I still have them? I still have them around here somewhere, but I can't find them right now, and I'm not going to spend this video digging through my desk. And I wouldn't be able to show you anyway because I no longer have his consent to use his images. But I put together a deck of Oracle cards that were inspired by his images and had his images on them at the time. And creating the messages for the cards was a collaborative effort, not between me and my mentor, though. Um, the messages came partly from my intuition, from my heart. Some of the messages were things that I needed. But they also came from my guides, from the beings that I work with on a daily basis. And they came from a collective of beings who introduced themselves to me as the Oracle guides. So it wasn't just me making up words in my room. This was an effort that incorporated a lot of higher energy vibration. It incorporated a lot of wisdom beyond what I as a human would have access to in general. And I fell in love with the deck of cards as soon as it was completed. And I've used those cards in my own life since I created them. But using them for other people became difficult because about a year after I created the deck, um, the connection between my mentor and I ended, and I was no longer allowed to use his images, which is completely fine. It was entirely within his rights to say so. And so I couldn't really share the cards because Oracle cards usually have images on them, not just words. So over time, I continued using the cards for guidance in my own life, but not with other people. After a while, when I set up my Facebook business page, I wanted to share the oracle cards on that. So I put stock images in place so that I could do that. And I wasn't really happy with that because I wanted the cards to have their own images and not stock images. The stock images worked for posting on Facebook, but I really wanted my own images on the cards because I wanted this to be a deck that was unique. I wanted it to be a deck that was whole and not, created piecemeal from other people's stuff. So several months ago, I was discussing this with my partner, and he said, you spend all this time down at the shore near your home. Why don't you take pictures there? Are there pictures you can take at the beach that can go with your cards? And I'm like, duh, why didn't I think of that? So thus was born the Seascapes Oracle. And I put the cards together. I sent off to a make decks of cards place and got a deck printed professionally for my own use. And this is the deck that I use when I do oracle card readings for other people. It's unique. I'm the only one who has this deck right now. I do hope to publish it in the future and make it available, but that's going to take some logistics and some formatting and stuff that I'm not up to doing just yet. But I am really happy to be able to share these cards and wanted to give you an idea of what they look like. So this is one of the cards, and it makes it clear. I do have a guidebook that go with the deck. Of course, I don't generally look at it, but it's not a warning of danger. It's a warning that things are about to change. Things are about to upheave a little bit. So be prepared for whatever is to come. And each of the cards in the deck has a title. Each has a title. Each one has an image, and each one has a short message. When I do the card readings, I don't just share the message, I expand on it, and through intuition and energy, I tie it into whatever situation is going on in the client's life that they're looking for guidance on. But I really love these cards. Like, they make me so happy because not just because I created them, but just I love how they feel. I've always been really in tune with the ocean, and so the suggestion from my partner of putting ocean related images on them was perfect. And I'm excited to be able to do readings for people using these cards. Um, And next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what oracle card readings are like in general and what mine are like. And I will do a sample reading for you next week. So tune in for that. If you want to know when I have new videos on here, I do videos about oracle cards. I do videos about energy healing, chakras, channeling. If you're interested in any of that, please subscribe to the channel. I will love you forever. And not to sound desperate or anything. And if you have any questions or thoughts, or if you have an oracle card deck that you really love working with, please leave a comment below. I will be back next week. Meanwhile, take care.